Civil Mindset Podcast, and we at it again. Feature on Unplugged Thursdays again for another collab. Yo, tap into this 2 hour session. We finna politic about relationships, closure, sport, a couple different things. Yo, let's get to it.
This is Unplugged Thursdays. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. Tonight, we are starting the show pretty much around the same time we usually do, but we do have a special guest host with us tonight. She had about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. Lou, you were here with us, right? Was it back in?
Yes, back in the yes, beginning of April, like the first few days.
Yeah. You were here, and you're back here tonight. So I welcome you to Unplugged Thursdays once again. And
Appreciate
make
it.
yourself comfortable.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
make
Thank you
yourself.
for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're always welcome. Actually, always welcome. So yeah. So I just wanted to make sure you get a warm welcome. And if anyone wanna chime in and welcome Lou back on the show, you may go ahead and do so anytime. So as I mentioned, this is Unplugged Thursdays. We are here every Thursday night from 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And this show has been running since November on stereo.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the longest running shows on stereo. And I can say that because I've been on stereo since October. And I don't think there has been a show that's been consistent weekly for that
Yeah.
long period of time. So yeah, I'm it's something that we've been uh, keep up with, and the fact that you, Lou, joined us a few weeks
Yes.
ago, and I'm glad that you were able to actually be part of this family. So this is Unplugged Thursday. So if you guys know how we do things, we're going to start with a quote, the quote of the week. This quote is from an author by the name of Cuddington, and it goes like this: Always keep your eyes open, keep watching, because whatever you see can inspire you.
Mm.
And I'm gonna repeat it once again. Always keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Keep watching, because whatever you see can inspire you. And that is from Grace Cuddington.
Yes.
And there's
That
not
was
much
deep
really
right
to
there.
say. Right. There's not much to really explain. It's just really, I mean, based on um, my understanding, it's just that we always have to be on the lookout. Always look for things or ways or people that inspire you, and you're always gonna find inspiration in whatever it is, you know. So
No, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
right. hmm You can go ahead and chime in, Lou.
No, I was just listening, you know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely one of those things where sometimes we're reminder as far as like being inspired, sometimes we lose that. We lose that drive and our energy just doesn't be the same again. So to I'm just glad that was just a really good quote. That was yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, this week I've been very inspired.
hmm
So how you feel about like what inspired you? Like even with the unplugged Thursdays, what inspires you to keep,
To
to
keep going,
to keep going.
let's just say I feel like um, first I would say the fans, all our listeners that definitely the fact that they keep coming back every week. and they
Mm-hmm.
want to be part of this, of course, that definitely inspires me. But I also um, pay attention to my surrounding, pay attention to what's going on around the world, pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to people. Like I observe people, observe their actions, and uh, and see how. So those things always give me ideas or things that I could talk about. So I always jot
Mm-hmm.
down little notes throughout the week, what I could maybe some topics that I could come up with. So I
Mm-hmm.
do. So I would say anything that uh, I guess people, things, our government, the world, everybody. I mean, anything that I can, I guess, see or hear, definitely always bring me some type of inspiration.
Okay.
Hmm.
No, that'd be enough, especially when you have like followers that's like, really following the show, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you definitely wanna keep content. That inspires you to keep content coming in.
That's right.
No, I
That's right, and that's and
completely.
that's why we're here. That's why we're here with Thursday night because we feel like some of the contents that we bring, people are passionate about them. We are passionate about them ourselves. So we like, okay, if we can find this common ground between us and our audience, then we got to keep the show going. So yeah, that's what inspires me every time.
Okay, so last time on the when we was doing this, we was collabing. I was, giving, I was telling you about me as far as like a podcast and stuff like this. So this week it's a little bit different because I completed my first book, which is kind of crazy
Okay.
because yeah, so
What?
yeah, and one thing that inspired me was
Uh-huh.
it's just I just feel like becoming a billionaire is obtainable. You know what I'm saying? We see it a lot. It's in our face often. Like people are just waking up, hey, so and so a billionaire. And I just feel like the cost of living is constantly increasing. That million is like I look at having M's, it's like having thousands. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easily to, tap into, becoming a millionaire. There's nothing wrong with that because look, I'm still in the thousands, not even 100,000. I'm in
Right.
the low, you know what I'm saying? The five figure thousands. That's not that big, like I said, with my career right now. So it's like it just inspired me to just tap into like the artistry side of me. Like I'm a
Yeah.
very, very creative person. And
Uh-huh.
I really pride myself on, teaching or not even necessarily like teaching as a teacher, but like teaching as informing somebody, no matter what, like, you know what I'm saying, pretty much help you out with information or whatever like that. So I was like, if I could do it for my kid, I know I can. It's kids out here really want to, who needs to learn this. So I have a children's book and it's kind of crazy because I'm having like technical difficulties, even though
Hmm.
like my master program is in that field. But this is
Hmm.
something that has nothing to do with me. It's a software thing with the publishing company. Um
Okay.
but yeah, but I completed it. So once I get it like squared away and fix this little situation, this compatible situation, then yeah, it's gonna be up online. And I was inspired by, my son, money, because that's what my book is
Hmm.
about. So yeah, this week has been very productive. And that's why I say I find inspiration within myself because, people,
Hmm.
everybody got something they're going through, but it's not about what you're going through, it's how you let it affect you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you become content
Yeah.
into that. So I use everything that I'm going to feel me to be like, whatever I say I'm gonna do, I'm
Mm.
following through.
Yes. And it's interesting. First of all, I have to congratulate you because
Thank you.
I know you're right. You're very artistic. I kind of pay attention to some of the stuff that I see the contents you're creating, and that is correct. You are an artistic person, but knowing that you just said that you just finished your first book. That is amazing because that tells me you really, I guess, get inspired by a lot of things to kind of push you to write this book. Like you said, you were inspired by your son, money, and different things, different ideas that you have. So it is amazing that you're able to accomplish this. So I congratulate you on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I just like we was talking about this that, what we do, we just wanna, impact somebody's life. And there's somebody out there that's like, dang, like got so much going on, feeling like it's them, feeling like it's not gonna end. It's just constantly going on. Cause that's how I felt a few days ago. Like if it's not one thing, it's another. And I just had to get out the mindset of instead of asking why me, it's like, okay, what I'm gonna do about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just definitely one of those things where you just gotta change your whole mindset of how you look at things. And now I want to say, since this last deployment, I don't
Mm-hmm.
get. When I'm down and out, that's when I'm my most creative self. Like that's how I
Mm-hmm.
end up healing and rising myself. So it's just, and then I just dropped a recent episode called Trauma, where I tell people like, anything that you're good at, dive into that, because that's where you're going to, first of all, that teaches you how to overcome, contentment in your situation,
Mm-hmm.
instead of, from a situation you become like, I don't know, lazy, or you start to hate yourself, or you start to blame other people and not be accountable. Like sometimes the negative part of a situation, we feed into that more. So if you throw yourself into something that you're passionate about, that prevents that negative energy to be invested in something that's only going to make you worse.
Mm-hmm.
Which in turns, you become inspired by yourself. So that's why I'm like, dang, this quote you said, it really touched something.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's great. And I'm just gonna throw this question out there for the audience. Now, if someone you're listening right now to this, so this is Unplugged Thursdays. If you're listening for the first time, we are a weekly show right here on stereo at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So we welcome you. And if you would like to chime in, I'm going to ask a question here. Since we're talking about inspiration from the quote that we read, I'm going to quickly put this question up on the screen. And if anyone could chime in while we are talking about that, you could go ahead and do so. So, where and how do you find your inspiration? That's the quick question for the audience. Me and Lou, we already kind of started that already. And so, if anyone hasn't, you're listening to this and you have not followed this show yet, you can go ahead and tap on that hashtag right under the question and go ahead and follow us on stereo. Okay. So, Lou, as I
Yes.
put the question on here, and I'm thinking, you know what? There's I have some more ideas on why I keep going every week, and I think I kind of touched on that with you when I spoke with you off of stereo. That some of the plans that I have and what I'd like to accomplish with uh, on here, but I do have some other ideas that I think, of course, I will elaborate more um, once we get going with our other program that we're working
Yes.
on Saturdays. But I feel like there's so many things that I get inspiration from. Some of it is based off of what I listen to on the radio. I look at
Hmm.
some of the people that I look up to. Um, for example, someone like Steve Harvey. um, that I listened to. I've been listening to him for like I don't even remember for how long. And I can see how he's, this man has like at least 6 jobs, and you're like, damn, how does he do it? But the thing is, I look at how he's able to navigate from
How you
from
able to manage that?
comedy, from comedy to TV and doing all those things that he's doing. I'm like, I feel inspired by him. And another person is Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry,
Mm,
we know was homeless when he
yes,
was in his 20s, and to see him now become a billionaire,
yes,
it's like, wow, how did he do it? But we know he received a lot of rejection from some of those studios that he tried to work with and tried to get his plays going, and eventually kept pushing. And one person that gave him some advice was Oprah. Oprah told him that, you know what, you need to uh, go ahead and make your own thing happen, meaning
mm-hmm.
that he had to go ahead and do it alone. But also, she told him, go ahead and write your own paychecks. And then
Agree.
he took that from Oprah, and he realized, you know what? Let me just go and start doing plays. And he started doing more plays and more plays. And then eventually, he got picked up by one of those studio. And then eventually, he turned into, TBS picked up his show House of Pain. And eventually,
Mm,
you saw what happened with Medea, all the plays that he used to do, how he turned that into a movie franchise. And then now he has his own, major movie studio, and he has his own, this man, is he's one of the, I would say, richest entertainers right now because of what
agree.
what he's been able to accomplish. But again, those are some of the people that inspire me um, to to do some of the things that I do, such as being on stereo, but also with a vision to try to accomplish something with that as well.
No, I agree. And that's a perfect example because yes, he became a billionaire, but I love his speeches. His
Hmm.
speeches is just because it talks to you like when you're at a down moment. And he speaks about his story. And that's what I was saying. One of the things is you can't get content in your situations. Like life is hard. Like my mama had to remind me earlier today, like, baby, life is not fair. Life is
Hmm.
hard. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, and it's like once you start to understand that, you just your outlook on it is different. It's like, I don't want this. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we have the power to change that. And for Tyler Perry, he did that. Like you said, he came from being homeless,
Right.
and just to have one of the biggest studios that was previously like quarters of the Civil War, for
Hmm.
the Confederate long time ago. That's another major thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, y'all did this, but this is what I'm doing. And like that's huge in itself. And Tyler Perry is just one of those people. Like I just love watching him. And I
Yes.
remember a few years ago there was a story about how this woman was like overly, trying to get his attention. And I think she was like did
Hmm.
something with billboards or something. And he had to tell her, like, hey, you doing too much. If it's meant for me to see you, I will see you. I don't have a problem giving you a job. But basically pretty
Hmm.
much telling
Hmm.
her in a sense, like, you gotta carry yourself to the point where someone wants to work with you and interested in you instead of giving all of you off the top, right off the back, because then it's like, okay, this is all you can do. I know what I'm working with. People really invest in you when they're interested in you because they really don't know everything about you. That's how I took it. But even how he
Hmm.
even respond to her at the level he was at and give her advice like that so she can get ahead in life, man, that man he one of the goats. He one of the
Yeah.
goats.
Yes. He is. He sure is. All right.
Right.
So we have Nay Speak, who's currently listening to us. We appreciate you for taking the time to listen to Unplugged Thursdays tonight. And if you want to chime in, you can go ahead and do so regarding uh, this topic. It's a very small topic. We're not going to stay on this for too long, but this is based off the quote that we read. And the quote for once again, I'm going to repeat that. It goes like this: Always keep your eyes open, keep watching, because whatever you see can inspire you. And this is from a author by the name of Grace Coddington.
Yes. And They Speak
Yeah.
is my homegirl, and we actually got a show in a few hours
Hmm.
talking about finances.
Hmm.
So we moving out here. This is what I'm saying. We are moving. We are working together. It is what it is. We doing big things.
That's right. All right.
So
So,
definitely.
hmm
No,
I
go
like
ahead.
that. I like that about you. Very you know, you you you- you're doing things that actually, you know, I would say I could call them money moves, but at the same time, we know, some of the things that we're doing on stage. It's not like, it's not like you're really making money, but you know it's contributing to something. You're getting all the experience. You bringing people. You inspire a lot of things we talk about on those shows. Believe it or not, some people, they inspire other people. Some of the listeners. So
Hmm.
so even though you may not be aware of it, people may not say it. Some people take some of the things that we talk about, and they run with it, and they go ahead and make something out of it. So you may not see a monetary value in some of the things that you were doing right now on stereo, but I guarantee you, with your podcast and some of the other stuff that you're doing, it will all pay off someday.
No, it definitely will. It definitely will. And I get my inspiration from people as well. And Nay Speaks is one that, like, Nay has, whew, my homegirl then talked me off the edge a few times. And just having those women talks, sometimes you need to talk to
Yeah.
someone who's gonna give it to you raw and not tell you what you want to hear.
Uh-huh.
And oh yeah, she said what I need to hear every time, and I appreciate it so much. And she's very inspiring. Just it's gonna be an interesting topic. And that's the good thing. It's like, especially on the stereo, once you come into contact with people that's like minded or that are an interest or inspires you, you start to attract more of that, and not
That's
just
right.
trait, but more of those type of people. You know what I'm saying? So, and it just makes you a better person.
That's true. That is true. There is a reason why we've met, Lou. That's part of what you just said. Describe that very well.
Hmm.
So we do have a comment from Naispeak, and we're going to listen to it before we move on to our next segment.
Hey y'all, I'm listening to y'all because I'm on my way to work. But that quote is good. I like that. I draw my inspiration truthfully from the people around me. The older I get and the more I get to see people flourish and shine, regardless of what they got going on and taking chances and taking risks. I'm a very shy person. But when I see people around me going for what they want and not being afraid, and regardless of the hurdles that's in front of them, seeing them just go leaps and bounds and do big things. That's where I draw my inspiration from. But I'm on my way to work. I'm just saying, I'm just stopping by to say, hey, congrats, Lou, on the butt, girl. Y'all, I see y'all later. I'll listen in and I'll catch up with y'all later.
Hey, Naispeak, I like your energy. I really like your energy. That's what's up. And thank you for actually taking some time to listen and chime in while you're on your way to work. We appreciate that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That be what's up. See, that's the inspiration. Yes. Love it.
Yep. So, Our next segment is basically something that we're going to read some horoscope. So, Lou, I don't know what your zodiac sign is, but if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you for your zodiac sign. I'm going to read you, some stuff, and I'll do the same for
So how about
myself.
you guess it?
And they speak, you could do the same. Say that again, Lou.
I say, how about you guess it? Because I am my sign.
Uh
I
huh.
am a. I'm true to my sign to the
Okay.
T. Except for like minor little things, but well, minor
Okay.
big things as far as like the emotional aspect. But the artistic. What is one of the most artistic signs?
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
So let
asking you,
me
what are one of
see.
the most artistic signs?
Are you like a Virgo or
No,
Sagittarius?
no, I'm a Aquarius.
Ah, man, I thought I was gonna guess it, but that's okay. So you are on Aquarius. Let's see what we have for you tonight for Aquarius. Okay, so today, which is April 29th, premonitions today might be rather disturbing for you, Aquarius, and you might actually feel some fear because of them. Don't panic. Your intuitive abilities aren't quite as sharp as usual. What you feel could be distorted or untrue. This does not mean you've lost it either. Try to be objective about everything you pick up physically. You will be glad you did. Dig deep into matters of the heart with a psychic love reading. And let me see. Let me read something about love matches for you quickly. For today, a friend or relative could be ill or out of work or otherwise beset by problems. You may want to do whatever you can to help out. This could be frustrating, but you will feel better for having done what you can. This person needs to face and deal with his or her responsibilities. They are out of control to fix. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That I was reading something about Scorpio. My bad. I was like, wait a minute. That's not okay. Hold on. Aquarius for love. There we go. Your enthusiasm for a certain person may be dampened due to some irritating gossip that you may have heard about them. The present planetary alignment could indicate that because you do not yet know them that well, you are wondering how much truth there is in what you have heard. In all honesty, it may be better to ask them directly and note their response. Okay, that was for love. And then let's see for money. What do we have for
That's what.
you?
Let's get to the money. Yes.
Let's get to the money part. All right, this week you have aspects making you more magnetic and even more unique. Wait, let me read that again. This week you have aspects making you more magnetic and even more unique. The tough part is that your career sector requires more attention now so that you can make your work sustainable, lucrative, and secure. Don't leave anything to chance now. Build what you want to see. Build what
Mm.
you want to see, which means keep going. Whatever you started, keep going.
Hmm. That's what I'm doing. Okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
So time to reflect. As far I'm gonna go backwards. So I know you said money, love, and then the first part was just telling me pretty much about my day.
Mm-hmm.
So for the money part, that's very true. I'm one of those people. I don't see my self worth. You know what I'm saying? Because of this is my own personal issue. You know, everybody got something there, some demons that they battling. So, but I know anything I put my hands on and I put my I'm passionate about, it just
Mm-hmm.
it blossoms. You know what I'm saying? It goes to the next level. Like even for my podcast, I didn't think I was gonna impact people the way I do with the
Mm-hmm.
messages and the phone calls I be getting. And I don't even do it for money because like I don't charge people. Like people ask me all the time, like, "Oh, I want to do this. How much you charge?" I don't charge people. Even in Chicago for my vacation a few months ago, I was going to people. They wasn't paying nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was appreciating to even speak with those people. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's like if I if I'm open to have a podcast or even just have a conversation with you, you know what I'm saying? I look at you as an intellectual person, that I can hold a conversation with, So it wasn't the money for me, but I know it's gonna blow up because it's reaching a lot of people, which is crazy because I reached out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, artists reached out to me like a so on Instagram, it's like 4 different levels as far as like how many followers you got. And you got like
Mm-hmm.
micro, mini, like these different things. So it was a
Mm-hmm.
person that had like he had around like 10,000 followers and he reached out to me. And I was just like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to attract people with a bigger following. And they like, yo, what you're saying, yo, you really talking that, I would like to work with you. And that was like, oh, it took me by surprise, but I appreciate that. So the money's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Anything I put my mind to,
Yeah.
now I'm in the process of I'll follow through no matter what. Now to the love part, we're not gonna talk too much about that, but I'm not looking for love. I'm looking for healing. I'm looking for closure, peace, like, and this is stuff that I'm looking
Yeah.
for within myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always been a person that's pride on, you don't get closure from people. You get closure from within. You have to be
That's
okay with
right.
what happened and let it go. So
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, how many times do people come like in a relationship? You may have females to come to you where they was like, down the road they just want to talk to you and get closure from you because they can't move on, and it's like I
Mm-hmm.
gave you all the answers. You're not ready to close the
Right.
book. You got to reach that within yourself.
Right. Right. You
So
know,
go ahead.
it's interesting you say that. I never understand why women always need closure. I never get it because I realize maybe because I don't I never seek for closure when it comes to I feel like if I was with I know this is not we may actually be talking about it a little later, but the truth is um see, I don't want to open that. If I open this up, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Let's talk about that a little later because I want to say a few things about this. Just remember that part where you mentioned um I want to basically talk about closure in relationships. So let's keep that in mind for now. We'll come back to that a little later on the show because I really wanted to say some stuff. But for now, let's keep going with the horoscope reading. There was one
Okay,
one
got
other
it.
part. There was one other part I forgot to read for you. It's the career part.
Mm-hmm.
It says you are in alignment with today's energy, suggesting that everything will flow very smoothly for you. Aquarius, relationships with others will be highlighted, and all the conversations with others will be productive and easygoing, just like right now.
No,
You will
I agree.
accomplish a great deal.
I
Go
hope
ahead.
that's for all my relationships because um I got some stressful relationships going on right now, and
For
I'm one of
sure.
them people. I'm always stressed. I'm easy, so it's crazy because I end up finding out that I'm an empath, and an empath is basically someone who makes other people's problems and emotion theirs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Hmm.
dang, that makes so much sense because anytime somebody comes to me with a problem, I always figure out a solution. And one of the
Hmm.
things my wife used to tell me all the time is, Lou, like, yo, I just want to vent. Like, I don't want no answers. Like, stop. And I'm just like, damn, I'm trying to be supportive. I look at that as being supportive, but it's kind of like one of those things where she was trying to save me from myself because it's like when
Hmm.
I'm not trying to live somebody else's life for them, but I swear I feel other people's emotions when they come to me, and it starts to make me overwhelmed because I got my own shit. Now I'm making your situations my situations, and I'm just over here like a big old baby, and then it looks like I'm being hypersensitive or overreacting when really I'm not. So with that alone, when it comes with relationships, I have to be able, now I know that I have to be able to protect myself to the point where I understand where you're coming from, but not involve
Mm-hmm.
myself in your life to where it feels like your
Mm-hmm.
life is my life. That becomes a
Mm-hmm.
burden, you know? So
Yes,
I hope
yes.
that all my relationships become productive. Because I don't like stressful situations. I'm a person that acts off love, and I have a pure heart, I have a forgiving heart, you know, so to a certain extent. But another part of the astrology, the first thing you was talking about was my day, you know, being productive and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that goes for all people. You know, it's not like a astrology type of thing, but I mean, I feel like every day has been productive because I'm going through something and I just refuse to sit in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't sit there and just blame the world, or you just can't do it because you're not going to get nowhere. So the best thing to do is fight back. You know what I'm saying? So any
Yes.
obstacle I come across, I don't stop there. I go through it. Like, it's not me jumping over it. It's not me running away from it no more. It's about going through it, and it makes you a better person. And I feel like when you go through so much stuff, yeah, it tears you down every time, and you're gonna leave with scars, but you're gonna continue with, okay, I've been through this, so I know how to maneuver better next time.
Mm-hmm. I agree because you
So,
have to go through it through experiences to know how to deal with a situation. You have to go through it at least once before to really know how to maneuver around it.
and you become wiser. You know, it's the
Mm-hmm.
best teaching is experience. Somebody could tell you something all day, but once you experience it, it's a different thing because it's like it puts you in a perspective where you whatever you was going through, you felt the emotion, you know, the thoughts that you came to your mind, you had to dissect those thoughts, you had to come with, you know, okay, a response. And with those responses, you had to look at, okay, if I do this, what is my results, what's my outcome? So
Mm-hmm.
when you experience it, it's different. When you're being told that and never experienced it, you got so many questions and you're able to make
Right.
more mistakes.
That's true. That is true. I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
So
So what's your zodiac sign?
my zodiac sign is I'm a Cancer.
Oh,
So
you an
I'm gonna
emotional
go.
man.
Well,
I'm messing
we'll
with
find
you.
out.
Okay.
We'll find out. We'll find out. So I'm gonna read some of the things that they uh, some things about Cancer. Now, in the meantime, if anyone would like their horoscope reading for today, you can go ahead and chime in and let me know what your zodiac sign is, and I'll do that for you soon after. All right, so Cancer today. Oh wait, let me go back for daily horoscope. Here we go. Okay, so today, hold on. Bear with me one moment. All right, so for Cancer, today you might find that some of your more ambitious plans finally seem to be paying off, Cancer. You should be happy by about this, but you might panic a bit. You might panic a bit, fearing that everything could crash at the last minute. Don't assume the worst and don't waste your energy worrying. Keep striving. You've gotten this far. With a little effort, all should go well.
Oh, that's a laugh. Okay.
I'm laughing because, you know, sometimes, like, when I'm working on a project or whatever it is, I always look at the all the good things that can happen because I get very I don't like I don't want to get too much ahead of myself, but I like to see to look at the positive outcome, but also I look at the okay, what if this doesn't go this way, then what should I do to to adjust myself when that happens? Like, let's say if I'm trying to, let's say if I have an interview, right? And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if I get this job, this position, if I get this promotion, this is what can happen. I know my pay is going to increase. I know I'm going to have this much responsibility and all that. But what if I don't get the position? What if they pick someone else? So now I have to figure out, okay, if I don't get it, maybe I should apply for another one, or maybe I should try to, um, I guess, learn some new skills. So basically, I like to look at things in two different ways. But sometimes I guess based on what I just read, it's like I may assume the worst sometimes, and it may
Mm-hmm.
be a waste of energy when I do that. So I just have to understand whether I'm worrying too much, or is it am I actually planning for something, or is it just worries that make me want to plan for the worst. So that's something to keep in mind. Um, Now, for love, it says if you try to hide so much as the tiniest secret from your love interest, it will be prized out of your crabby claws in 2 seconds.
Mm.
With today's planetary transits, the psychic radar is unusually powerful, and they will know if you are not telling the whole truth or are laying some kind of false trail. You will be tickled and questioned, teased, and cajoled until you are honest. Okay. So I guess I have to cancers, if there are any, we have to tell the truth. Because if we don't, your partner will eventually find out.
Mm. Don't
And
even play
now
with her.
for uh-huh. And now for career, it says you may get the feeling that a buddy of yours is letting you down in some way. Look at the situation more closely, and you will find that this is not the case. This person is just being who they are. Their actions have nothing to do with you. Okay, that doesn't seem to have too much about career, but okay. And then for money, activity in your house of inheritances and debt this week shows that it's possible to be on the receiving end of one or the other now. One, of course, you can't control, but if you find that you need to put more energy into a debt repayment plan, the universe can help you gain more responsibility in that area. Smile, it's getting better and better. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually am working on paying some of my debts, so that's a good thing. The universe is working alongside me with that.
Yes, I agree. Get that financial freedom.
Hmm. All right, so this was for Cancer. So if anyone would like me to quickly go over your zodiac sign, go ahead and chime in, let me know. And once again, this is Unplugged Thursdays. You're listening to right now. This is a weekly show we have every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Tonight, Lou is my guest host. Um, so if you're here for the first time, I welcome you. I appreciate you for listening, for stopping by. Um, and if you have not yet followed our hashtag, it's right on your screen. Tap on hashtag Unplugged Thursdays. It will bring you to another screen, and then you will click follow, so you could follow us on stereo. Because whenever we hear, you're always gonna get notifications. So please go ahead and do so. We are also on IG. You can follow Unplugged Thursdays on IG. If you go ahead and IG and type Unplugged Thursdays, you will find us. Go ahead and follow. Um, so thank you for actually doing that. If you if you've already done so. Now, we're going to take a quick break, Lou,
Okay,
um, musical break, and we will be right back for our next segment.
let's do it.
All right, and we're back. We're back with Unplugged Thursdays. Unplugged Thursday is one of the longest running shows on stereo. We've been running the show since November 2020. And regularly we have Nikki as our host. However, she is absent for the night, which is why we have our special guest host, Lulu.
Let's do
Uh,
it.
if you folks don't know who Lulu is, she actually has her own podcast outside of stereo. Of course, she's on stereo, but she also has an actual podcast. So if you check any of the platforms, Apple Podcasts or any Spotify or any podcast platform that you use, you can actually listen to her podcast, which is Civil Mindset, Civil Mindset
Mhm.
podcast. Um, I think right now, which episode are you on? What's your is it your sixth or seventh episode?
On civil mindset,
Uh huh.
it's my 15 episode, but this not including the different parts. Yeah, because I have
Oh,
some
okay.
that's like 3 parts, 2 parts. So when it's like that, I just still count that as one big
Ah,
episode, just different
you're right.
parts.
You're right, because last time you were on Unplugged Thursdays, I think you cut that on three different parts, and then you had some other ones you did the same.
Yes.
So that's right. Yep. So I need to keep up with the podcast myself.
It's good. Like I be having to keep up. I be so busy. I make sure I be like, okay. I got a whole little notebook, so I won't,
Yeah. And she actually has an Lou actually has an IG page for her podcast as well. It's called by the same name, Civil Mindset. If you go on IG, you can actually go ahead in IG and look for Civil Mindset. There's a logo in yellow. You will find it. easily. She also has a
Yeah.
website. Your website is Lou.
It's civilmindset.com. And then my IG is civil_mindset.
That's right. Go ahead and follow her on both Stereo and IG to keep up with everything she's doing. And she mentioned earlier, which was a little surprise to me, but again, she is a very dedicated artistic person. She just wrote a book, or she's working on getting it published. So um, if you guys follow her on IG, you can always keep up with everything that she's doing because she's really focused. Um, so now it's about to be right now it's 11:53 p.m. Eastern time, and this is where we're going to start talking about some of the celebrities. So I read something, was it yesterday or today, about I'm sure you're aware that Jennifer Lopez and her, I guess, ex her ex fiance, because they were supposed to get married, right?
Okay. I've been so out the news and so focused. No,
Right.
but go ahead, tell me.
So it appears that, of course, they're no longer together because um, Jennifer Lopez, I guess she found out that he's not cheating, but I guess there's, he's got somebody he was talking to, I guess maybe flirting or something like that. But with remember Jennifer Lopez has a history of she's had three different marriages. She's been with other different people. So she has a history of men that are not, I guess, either not too faithful or she has her own issues. So in this case, I guess whenever she's with someone and she notices that the person does something or is is either trying to cheat, and even if they're not cheating, but if as long as she noticed that the person is let's say if she noticed the person has received a text message or whatever it is, she don't want to go through. According to what I read, she don't want to go through this type of. She don't want to feel like somebody's gonna cheat on her. So with A-Rod or Aaron Rodriguez that she was engaged to and was supposed to getting ready to get married, she she called it off because she feels like this is gonna be one of those other relationships where he might end up cheating on her. So she called it, so they broke up. Now, the
Hmm.
reason why I brought that up is because I read an article that says there is a psychologist who said their relationship was doomed from the start
Oh.
because here's why. The psychologist says they both are Taurus, which means they have very strong personalities. Second,
Mm-hmm.
they are both two A-listers, meaning that they both love the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some other parts that I think the psychologist said that there's no way this was gonna work. And also, if he's a cheater, then obviously this was not gonna work anyway. Even if they had stayed and got married, eventually this was gonna, they were not gonna stay. If he was gonna be cheating on her, then this wasn't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, um, so right now, they no longer together. They just, she feels like she wants to be by herself, but she also relies on her ex-husband, Mark Anthony, because he listens to her. He always gives her good advice, I guess. But they're not together, of course. But he's the only one that they saying that she's kind of feel like can understand. certain things about her. Um, but she feels very vulnerable with men, I guess, that are very with someone like Aaron Rodgers. You know, the guy is an A-lister, like I mentioned earlier. So of
Yeah.
course, women are always gonna wanna come up to him, but
Right.
he's just, I guess. So they saying Jennifer Lopez will need to settle with someone that's not a superstar, someone that's like maybe like a businessman, someone that's not in the public view, like you see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So they say she may need somebody like a regular person because otherwise, if she always gonna be dating people that are on her level, it's always gonna be an issue because those people are also, it's not like they can just always reject everyone. It's like it's tough for them to just
Yeah. It's no balance.
there's no balance exactly. So they're saying she would need to find someone that's like, or maybe wait for someone that's really not on the same level as her as far as being big major superstar, someone who wants the spotlight just like her. No, it's never gonna work if it's somebody like that. So that's what the advice I guess they have for her. She may need to kind of look at things differently than she used to, and maybe settle with someone that's less famous.
No, I agree with it. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different things just from that story because
Hmm.
um she's vulnerable and she been cheating on a lot and she called
Yeah.
it off because obviously, so that's the thing, you obviously caught red flags long time ago. That's the thing when it comes to dating, man or women, when we like someone or so invested with someone, we ignore the red flags because we're like, it's not that bad, maybe it get better, we give them the benefit of that, we make excuses for it. So I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
these red flags did not start overnight. And you
Correct.
know if he has like a thing where he is cheating and she's vulnerable because she been cheating on in the first place, I could definitely see where that's not working. But this is the thing, regardless if you was a cheater before, because that's how I was. I used to be a cheater. Like I didn't care about that because one thing my mama told me was that,
Hmm.
you're not in a relationship until you're married. After that, anything before that is free game. So
Right.
it's like, and I was young too. Like I always been taught, you're young, live it up. So, but it was one of those things where if I didn't cheat, it's because I didn't want to cheat. You get what I'm saying? So you have to
Hmm.
want someone so much where it's just you just want to be committed and all about them, And for a lot of men, they don't really find women like that. You know what I'm saying? They can have a good woman, but
Hmm.
it's not good enough for like they don't the woman they went would not fulfill the things that they're looking for them to just be like, yo, I'm only settling down with her. I'm only committed with her. And
Hmm.
that's one of the things you gotta just really be like, okay, this person made me do this, so um but even to continue, I think she just need to be by herself. We really never heard her being by herself. We always hear she break up with somebody and then a few months later she's seen dating somebody else. Like, you're just adding more trauma to your traumatic life. You know what I'm saying? You're the bag lady. That's
Hmm.
why I call her bag lady. You already come to the door with baggage, but you still filling the bag up. Like,
Right.
give yourself that time. You deserve that. Learn yourself. Once you learn yourself, then you learn what you want out of a person and
Exactly.
what you want allow. You can't
Exactly.
do that if you keep going person to person to person. At that point, you're just using that next person to ignore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where I'm using this person as a crutch. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even got to deal with
Hmm.
the hard part. But you're cheating
Hmm.
yourself and you're wasting both of y'all time.
And you know what's funny? She's. I remember when she was younger, when she used to, have different men, and now she's like in her what, almost 50s, late 40s, and she still. It seems like she never grew from that. Like you said, she never learned herself to understand herself enough to kind of decide, okay, um, she want to be with someone that, so because if you don't understand yourself and the kind of person that you are, and you're always gonna attract the one kind of person. So you have to really understand who you are, so that way you can work on yourself and then you can attract the person that the right person in your life, the right people in your life. So I guess
Mm-hmm.
I mean I can't judge. I don't know Jennifer Lopez from up close, but based on going way back from whom she's I mean she's had so many relationships, like so many marriages, and you're like, damn, what has she learned from all these experiences? You know what I'm saying?
She hasn't learned herself. That's her problem. She has
Right.
not learned herself.
So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to kind of uh, highlight about um, on the segment celebrity craze, because I thought it's important to really understand what we put ourselves into, especially when I mean, that applies to anyone, when you've gone through different areas, different parts of life, and you're meeting different people, um, you have got to understand who you want to be around or who you want to be around you. So,
Mm-hmm.
but until you understand yourself, it's gonna be hard to do that.
No, I definitely agree with that.
Mhm.
You gotta know self first, and I'm not gonna lie, because I do it a lot, and I just realized a lot of humans we just do that. We be scared and we be really running from ourselves for real, for real. Like
Mhm.
the part of ourselves that we don't want to admit that's wrong or that needs attention or that needs to be fixed. You know what I'm saying? We do that a lot. Um, and for
Mhm.
me, it's not that I don't have an accountability problem. It's the fact of, I be scared to be like to really dissect myself because I know for me, I'm my biggest critic. So I overdo it to the point where I'm starting to do it in an unhealthy way where I start to devalue myself. Not to the point where and then I end up blaming myself for other people's, mistakes or whatever. But that's where my fear come in. But like I said, I don't know, like you said, Jennifer Lopez don't know her personally, but she definitely need to stop and just give herself that.
Mhm.
But
Give herself a chance to know herself.
that's for anybody, honestly. Like,
Mhm.
it's a lot. It's like, you just find yourself in the same situation, dating the same type of people and getting the same result. You got to dissect that. Like, why is this keep happening? What is it
Mhm.
that I'm doing? How am I contributing to it? Because everybody, when it's a situation, everybody at fault, whether you with someone who's cheating and you're allowing it,
Mhm.
you keep taking them back, because that's the thing that I'm realizing is that when a person does something, they're not going to take you serious if they keep coming back, because then they're going to try like, okay, well, how much can I get away with next time, you know and they're like, okay, well, all you're gonna do is just take me back. All I gotta do is say this or do that. All I gotta do is give you a little to receive a lot from you, because that's all. If I can give you something, then to you it look like, oh, I'm putting effort, I'm trying, but really I'm just giving a little to receive more. You gotta be able to notice those things and be accountable, because again, you allowed it, you overlooked it. And if you respond to it in a negative way, now you're feeding it that negative energy so it can continue to thrive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Negative energy gonna attract negative energy. That's just like toxic people. That's just like hurt people. Hurt people hurts people. So it's the same
Mhm.
concept.
I agree.
There y'all go, part one on the second collab with Unplugged Thursdays. At it again, yo, part two coming up. Hey, tap in Thursday. Let's get it.